Da 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 boom boom boom. Shortened version.
What? You didn't get to the best part.
No, I wasn't going to do the whole thing because we have things to talk about. It's not even
the whole thing. It's like 3 notes repeated. You make me sick.
Exactly. It's 3 notes repeating. What's the point of doing it over and over and over again? Bitches get the gist. We did it last week. We're doing it this week, and we're going to do it next week and the week after that. So what's the point of doing it over and over and over again?
Okay, boring.
Well, welcome to Shade and Lemonade, where I don't know what
we just talk shit.
We just talk shit, simply. We just talk fucking shit. How are you doing?
I'm doing
What's going
great.
On with you?
Obviously, there are stressors in life because there will always be stressors in life. But I'm fresh off of seeing Sinners. I'm fresh off of seeing The Accountant 2, all of which I saw. Well, technically, I didn't see The Accountant 2 for free because my mom paid so much money to see Sinners. I felt bad, and I said I'd treat us to The Accountant.
What?
And it's just a good, fun movie. Like, there's actually a very sad component to it. But I don't want to say it. You're probably not going to watch it, right? It don't hurt my feelings. You're not going to watch it.
I'm going to watch it.
Okay, there's a sad component to it that really was getting me in my feels. Like, me and my mama watched 1 however many months ago. And then she watched 1 like 3 more times that week. And then we watched 2 the other day. And then last night, I was like, Mom, you want to watch The Accountant? And she was like, yeah. And like 10 p.m., so we watched The Accountant. I'm like, you want to see if they have The Accountant 2 out here? And she's like, yeah. They didn't have it. No, it was one of the sites. But like, you know how the Fire Stick has a million of different things you can put on there?
Oh, you was bootlegging that shit on Fire Stick.
Okay, I sense judgment. But no, I did that. And so like, it's fun. But so I've just had a fun time. I survived finals week. But how have you been?
As you already know, there have been some very major changes in my life.
Tell the audience.
I had to move in with my boyfriend. I'm happy. I like moving in with him, and he bought his cat. Everyone say hi to Callie. Say hi, Callie. No. Callie, say hi. Okay, fuck you, bitch. So that's nice. Bella kind of hates Callie, but we're working on it. And the circumstances in which I had to move him in kind of pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to get the cat acclimated, but that's about it.
Did you just
the bitch? Yes.
Sick. I will call PETA.
But she is a bitch. Just like Bella is a bitch. Speaking of bitch, I'm about to put the bitch in the room because she keeps me out. So you wanted to meow again in the mic. In the mic.
Meow.
See, that's why you going in the fucking room, because you won't make contact. Bitch, you gonna pay bills somehow in this goddamn house. But basically, my boyfriend moved in. I've been trying to get my cat and his cat acclimated together. We're only going to be here for 2 months, so I'm not too worried about it. But it just is what it is. It just is what it is. And this last week has been very stressful and very busy because of it. But happy note, I got a what's it called? A Super King. What is the mattress called?
California King.
I got a California King for free.
Did you get the bed frame?
No, I didn't get the bed frame.
Did you?
No, I didn't go back for it because it was one of those ugly ass bed frames that were like, it was like brown or black bars.
That's what a bed frame is supposed to look like.
I understand that. I get it, but I want a nicer one.
You can literally just get, my grandma got those like little things that cover up the bed frame. Don't do too much. It's a flipping bed frame.
Girl, I want to live in luxury for the next like 5 to 6 years. Okay. Well, if you guys didn't, okay, bitch. If you guys didn't get it from the beginning of the episode, we're going to be talking about, or we're going to be continuing our series on Game of Thrones. Last episode, if you didn't listen to it, go listen to it, you dumb bitch.
That was crazy. You can't talk about. You sound like, what's a Doja Cat that said, "I hate my fans." Like, you sound like you.
I don't hate my twos of fans.
Your twos?
I talk crazy to everyone.
Did you say your
like
twos?
This is. Yes,
we have like
I said
5 white men on Blue Sky that are obsessed with us. Please.
Like, I don't know if I even want to count them hoes. Like, white people, no. My boyfriend don't even listen to this shit, and it hurts.
Does he hate you?
No, he listens to some of the episodes.
Now you trying to walk it back.
Who listens to the podcast that's close to you again?
Nobody.
I just want to know.
But that's because nobody knows about it, because I keep my lives separate. My mom actually knows about it. Like, she's like, let me explain. At one point, I remember one time she was like, because I just tell her, like, if I'm recording at home like I am right now, I tell her, hey, I'm about to get on a call or whatever. So like, don't come downstairs for the next however long. And then at one point when I said that, she was like, oh, you and Deshaun doing your little podcast? I'm like, I don't know why you would say that. We don't have a podcast. And she was like, why did you buy mics then? I'm like, I didn't buy mics. Why are you in my mail? That's illegal.
Maya, she knows. I don't know why you're talking like she doesn't know. She knows.
She knows that it's something we're doing, but she doesn't know it. Like, she does.
Maya, she knows.
No, she doesn't. I don't know why you think my mom is tech savvy, because she does not. Because she would have came to me about the way I talk on here.
Right? She's on TikTok, right? Just like my mom is on TikTok. 9 times out of 10, they are all connected. Like, we are all connected on TikTok. So that means that they have seen a Shade and Lemonade podcast pop up on their For You page at least once. And that once is enough for any mother. That once is enough for any mother. I'm not going to say father because they are oblivious, but that's enough for any mother to pinpoint their child's voice.
Correct, because we don't even upload audio clips anymore, because I haven't done that in forever. We haven't uploaded an audio clip in eons. I'm going to do it one day, guys, I promise. Also, I stopped reposting the audio clips after my friend was like, this you? I said, okay, what you're not going to do is that. And 2, I have never seen them on our views. They're never on our likes. So, incorrect.
Anyways, y'all, we're going to be talking about season 3 and 4.
There you go.
Shut up, ho. Seasons 3 and 4 of Game of Thrones, which I believe peak. Like, it's season 4, the best season. Down. And you can find me on that.
I'm not good at that.
I'm ready.
So I can tell you what was bad, but I can't tell you like, oh, this was the best season of the show. Like, I can't do that. I'm not good at that.
Season 4 was good for multiple reasons, but the main reason was Peter Dinklage. That performance, insane.
No, like, everyone knows that.
Amazing work in season 4. And I think that's when Tyrion was honestly his smartest. Now, was he in a fucked up situation? We'll get to it. But I feel like he was at his smartest. He was at the pinnacle of his intellect. Mm-hmm.
Rob breaks his vow to marry one of Walder Frey's daughters. Instead, he marries and impregnates Taissa. I don't know how to know her name. I think it's Taissa. To make up for his broken oath, Rob presents his uncle Edmure Tully to marry one of the Frey daughters. No one fucks with Edmure, y'all. Arya is escorted by the warrior Sandor Clegane, aka the Hound, to be sold to Rob and Catelyn Stark at the Frey wedding. Theon is tortured by Roose Bolton's bastard son, Ramsay Snow. Further north, Jon Snow earns the trust of the wildlings and climbs the wall with a wildling party, ending up on his south side, but then betrays them. He also falls in love with Ygritte, a wildling girl. In the capital, King Joffrey has decided to marry Margaery of House Tyrell, setting Sansa aside. Tywin, however, arranges Sansa's marriage with his son, Tyrion. In Essos, Daenerys acquires the Unsullied, an army of eunuch slave soldiers, as well as former slave and interpreter Missandei, the baddest bitch. She also joins forces with the Second Sons, a company of mercenaries, and becomes the queen of Yunkai. I do not think that this is this does not feel like a summary, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like how a book summary, like, doesn't tell you everything. Like, they're telling you everything that fucking happens. I'm like, oh my God.
Okay, the reason that I didn't change it is because we're not going to go through every single person until, like, usually we do that, but there are so many characters to keep track of. Like, I don't know if I would be able to. Maybe you would be able to, but I know for a fact I wouldn't be able to, like, track them like I want to.
No. I'm not saying you should change it. I'm just saying that's what I was thinking as I was reading it. Like, it's interesting that this is how they summarize it.
And honestly, I did take out a lot of parts. Obviously, like one of the biggest ones in season 3, because they did put that in the synopsis, but I took that out because I want to talk about it. Like, I want to talk about some of the things, like, particularly.
Yes.
But for season 3, I feel like it's also important to say this. It's just a point that I want to make. Brienne of Tarth, don't think we forgot about our girl. Brienne of Tarth is escorting Jaime back to King's Landing so he can be with his the love of his life, his sister. So while they're on the way, they get caught up by the I call them the Bolton boys because they're like Roose Bolton's lackeys or whatever the fuck. And they take them prisoner, and they're about to rape Brienne of Tarth.
Oh God.
And Jaime like jumps in and tries to be a white savior. Like he gets their mind off of Brienne, but like
they're all white.
He's also white, which makes him a white savior.
A white savior actually has a definition to it. One cannot be a white savior to other white people.
He was a savior and he was white.
That's not what a white savior is.
I know that's not what white savior is, but let me just talk. Because I wanted to use it. Shut the fuck up. Anyways,
I guess.
as I was saying, Jaime is now in the eyes of the Bolton boys. So they don't have their eyes on Brienne anymore. And the Bolton boys beat his ass and then cut off his hand.
Yep.
Cut off his dominant hand, the one that he sword fights with. Yep. So now Jaime can't fight. He is the most able body out of the Lannister trio: Cersei, Tyrion, and Jaime, obviously. And Cersei and him always made fun of Tyrion because he was a should I say dwarf? I don't know. Is that bad?
I don't know, but I also don't know. Maybe say little. I don't know what the correct terminology is. But Jaime made fun of him for that.
Yes. Well, Jaime was like obviously nice to him.
I thought him and Jaime were best friends, best pals.
I wouldn't call them best friends. They were like close as siblings. Like Jaime obviously treated him like a person, but when Cersei was talking about him, that's when he separated himself from Tyrion. Like it was either him and Tyrion or him and Cersei. There was never all three of them together or a Cersei and a Tyrion.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like Jaime was co-signing the shit that Cersei was saying about him all the time and everybody else because he just didn't give a fuck. But now he knows what it feels like to have a disability because his hand is fucking gone. And he has to deal with that. And he looks so sad and so disheveled and so fucked up. And Brienne tries to console him and be nice to him. And he actually opens up for the first time to someone other than his sister. And I think that's a really important part to bring up because they didn't say that nowhere in Wikipedia or anywhere that I was trying to find a synopsis.
That scene is actually very core to Jamie's character, which makes it even worse what they do with him later on. But one of the big things, like we talked about this in our last episode. So one of the things, a part of Jamie's story is how he killed the Mad King. And a lot of people see Jamie negatively after that, because it's like, even if the Mad King was going crazy, you were still sworn to him and you betrayed him. And Jamie opens up about how he did all of this to like he killed the king to save the people, because I don't know if people knew that the Mad King had that green fire stuff. What is it called? Wildfire? I don't know if people knew that the Mad King had wildfire placed around the city or not, or if it was just Jamie that knew that. But I feel like I think he found out what the Mad King was going to do with the wildfire. He's like, oh, okay, I got to put you down for the sake of the people. But like, he never says this to anyone, because I don't know if it's his dad said it to him or whatever. But one of his quotes in the scene is, why would a lion concern himself with the opinions of sheep? I feel like his dad probably said that to him. So he's like, I don't need to explain anything to anybody. I think his dad also says that in the show while he's cutting up a deer or something. But he's like, I don't need to explain myself to anybody. But at the same time, not explaining myself to anybody has people questioning who I am as a person left and right. And it actually does bother me. It actually does make me sick. And you know what? I could be wrong, but I feel like he never would have told this to Cersei, because I don't think him and Cersei had an emotional relationship. They had a sexual weird thing. And I feel like, and that's a stark difference between his relationship with Cersei and his relationship with Brienne, because him and Brienne, I don't even, mind you, I don't mess with it. I don't. And we will get there in 2 episodes why I don't mess with it. But like, she allows him to be vulnerable. She allows him to open up and things like that. And I think it really shows the audience, oh wait, like seeing him go through this, like getting his hand cut off, getting kidnapped and then getting his hand cut off, and like living, like being treated like dirt, and then going back to, Jaime Lannister, but not Jaime Lannister, not the same because he has his hand cut off. Like that really allows the audience. I feel like that's when people really connected with Jaime. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, I think that's when people connected with Jaime too. It's when, because a lot of people say that Jaime is one of their favorite characters, or like they not idolize him, but like we see fan cams obviously of Jaime. So
we see what?
Fan cams.
Like edits?
Yes, edits.
Oh, people just attracted to him.
So like people think that Jaime was redeemed in the whole entire series. Again, we're gonna get into it later, but me personally, to this day, I don't think that he was redeemed in any way, shape, and form.
Really?
No, I don't give a fuck if he was connecting with Brienne. I don't give a fuck if he did the shit that he did later in the show. I don't care. You fucked your sister and you said you loved her and you did horrible things to the people of the realm. I was about to say,
well, that's not the problem. The problem, well, it's a problem, but that's not like
it's definitely a problem.
Redemption.
He needs redemption from a lot of different things. That's my thing. It's just like, I don't care if you've helped like the other side sometimes. You're still a bad person. You are still a shit person. It's just like the thing that we were talking about with 13 Reasons Why. Like those Bryce and Monty are still bad people. They cannot be redeemed in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I feel about Jaime. It's cute. I like the love story for Brienne.
Ugh.
I do.
I hate it.
It's cute. Do women need love stories in every single piece of media? No, not at all. But I think the thing that they were trying to do with Brienne was cute.
I hate it.
Now, do I like that it was with Jaime? No. But do I think it was cute? Yeah.
Hated it.
I know who Brienne should end up with.
Amen.
Or should have ended up with. Yeah, we know.
But
we know. We'll get into that later. Honestly, he's in this season, so we could talk about him if you wanted to.
We can't talk about that because that doesn't happen yet.
No, we can talk about him. We can't talk. We can talk about him.
Well, yeah, my fine. I guess we can start with John then. So, essentially, what's going on with John this season? We left him last season, season 2, with he was across the wall and he had been taken by wildlings, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, because he killed that other guy. Like they plotted, he killed him to show his loyalty to the wildlings. And for a minute, he's still in there doing that. Actually, no, not for a minute. That's what he does this season. He just continues to be like, I'm with the wildlings, I'm for the wildlings. And as he does that, as mentioned, he falls in love with Ygritte. Which, fun fact, I forget their names right now. Kit Harington, and I never knew her name. They both got married in real life. The girl who plays Ygritte, they married in real life. And there are a lot of people from Game of Thrones at their wedding.
Did they meet on the set?
They did meet on set. And there were a lot of people from Game of Thrones at their wedding. And I don't know around the same time every year, I feel like their wedding photos go viral of like them getting married. Like it's after they say their vows and they're like running out with flowers and stuff being thrown around and they're both smiling. And then it's also they show people from the Game of Thrones set walking in. Like I remember Davos was there, Arya was there, Sansa was there, Peter Dinklage was there. I don't remember if anyone else was there, but other people.
And everyone looked good. I want to see the list of people. I want to see the list of people who weren't there because that will tell me everything I need to know.
Anyways, I can't remember. Oh, the guy who played Robb Stark was there, and he was in a kilt.
Yeah. I need him.
You do, because I do as well. Because he's beautiful.
But yeah, John is now a wildling. He falls in love with this wildling girl, and he actually breaks his oath. A crazy oath not to have sex or ever marry anyone.
I get the point of it in the sense that they don't. So the wall wants you to be loyal to the wall. When you take the black, you are supposed to live and die on the wall. Like let's say you take the black at 20 years old and you die at 96. From 20 to 96, you are at the wall. So if you leave the wall, if you get married,
so
if
you're
you
just
have
fucking
children,
your hand. You're married to your hand now.
Exactly. But if you get married, if you have children, if you have sex, it's not like we had protection. I mean, some maesters knew about that secret tea that they use left and right, like it's everyday. It feels like an everyday occurrence in House of the Dragon. That little tea they be making, but
block it.
The average citizen plebeian don't know about that tea. So it's like, it's just either you get pregnant or you don't. So they don't want you out here making babies and then you want to abandon your watch on the wall.
But truly, honestly, who is at the wall to fuck? Like we're under the assumption that all these men are straight.
Yeah.
Who is at the wall to fuck? They all stay there.
No, you would leave the wall, Negro.
But once you take the black, who are you meeting after that? Like, what woman are you meeting?
If you leave the wall, you could meet one.
But they only go north, and they all hate the wildlings.
For example, Oliver wasn't far from the wall. I don't know how, but he wasn't far. So that's a town right there. It's not allowed, but it would be them sneaking out at night to go see people.
Okay, fair. Okay, you got me.
But if we just nip that in the bud from jump, we ain't got to worry about it.
But okay, this is the thing I have a problem with John though. He lives, eats, and breathes the wall. He wanted to go. He's one of the only people that ever wanted to go to the wall willingly. And he is all high and mighty because he wanted to go to the wall and he's ride or die for the fucking wall. And everyone else there doesn't want to fucking be there. So you're going to go back at some point. Yet you still break that oath. Crazy.
I think
insane.
I understand it because I will say this. Okay, the wall was built up in his head to be this amazing thing, and then he gets there and it freaking sucks. These aren't trained warriors. No one actually cares about the oaths. He's like, I'm standing here all day protecting against nothing. There's no danger. He's very disillusioned by the time he actually gets to the wall and like experiences it. He's like, this is nothing like I thought it would be. And also his dad was murdered, and when he tried to go and like avenge his dad, they were like, no, you can't. So he's coming off with all those emotions, and then you tell him the wildlings are actually evil, sinister beings. They're beasts. They're less than human. They're terrible. They're savages. And he gets there and he's like, wait, these are regular everyday people. And also this girl is super pretty. What are you talking about? And like also she shows him a strength that he hasn't seen in any woman, unfortunately, because in any woman near him. And he's like, wait, these are actual people, like good people, like they just trying to survive. And then eventually he spends a little too much time with her. He falls in love with her. He falls in love with licking the cooter cat, because and it like, because don't everybody want to lick a cooter cat, so I get it. I do.
One thing I never understood was why the Nice Watch hates the wildlings. I never understood that.
Yeah, they don't explain that. Like, one thing I don't like about Game of Thrones, even when it's peak writing, is that they abandoned. I don't know if they go deeper in the books, but like they abandon a lot of setup, in my opinion. Like, I genuinely feel like there should have been a whole episode dedicated to the backstory of how the wall came to be and why it was important, and how the White Walkers came, and how the wildlings ended up on the other side of the wall, and why all of a sudden we're fighting against them and stuff like that. And like, why is this one dude who the guy, I'm pretty sure Craster's Keep is like, I think he's a guy that abandoned the wall, but I could be wrong. But like, why is he giving up his babies to old dude? Like, I feel like they should have explained that so much better than they did, and they never do. And I blame D&D, but like that really should have been explained, because it would have made everything make so much more sense and have an even bigger payoff. Because it's like, okay, this dude just wants to conquer the world or whatever, but like, where is bro coming from? Like, none of it is actually explained. So even though he falls in love with Ygritte, some of them trust him, but some of them don't. But he also he meets their king, the king beyond the wall, Mance Rayder, who eventually becomes an important figure, I guess. And
Mance Rayder.
Okay, weirdo. And it's so cute because this is when we meet the last remaining giant, or whatever the frick. He was a cute guy. I was like, oh, you're so cute. But eventually, Jon, even though he does fall in love with Ygritte, and he does connect to some of the wildlings in the sense that, like, he's like, well, you guys aren't beasts. You're actually people. And I think he sympathizes with Mance, because Mance is like, I'm just trying to save my people. It is getting dangerous over here. There are, I don't know if bro goes like, there are White Walkers, but like there are dangers beyond the wall, and we just can't fend them off anymore. And so he sends Jon and a band of wildlings, including Ygritte, to scale the wall and prepare for essentially the wildling army to invade. And when they're doing this is when at some point Jon, we find out that, or the wildlings find out that Jon has been a double agent this whole time. He like escapes or whatever somehow. But something that, does this happen? Him and Bran cross paths this season, but he doesn't know.
Yeah, this is when they're like in the exact same place, and he doesn't know.
Yeah, because
but Bran actually, you know what? The only interesting thing that Bran has done in this whole entire series has been a warg. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
So he can like go into the minds of like animals and shit. Unfortunately, Hodor does count as an animal, but he can also go into the mind of a Hodor, I guess.
It's because they're, I don't want to...
simple-minded creatures.
Yes, I don't want to say that.
And
but that's why he can do it.
But that's why he can do it, because Hodor is a simple-minded creature. We love Hodor, though. I love you, Hodor. Love you, King. So he actually helps Jon by going into
Summer.
his dire wolf.
I think.
Yeah, I think it's Summer. It may be. But he goes into his dire wolf and then helps kill the other wildlings or whatever.
Yeah, he attacks because the wildlings found out Jon was a traitor and he attacked them. And he wanted to join Jon and be like, hey, bro, we can finally reconnect. Because at this point, no Stark sibling has seen another Stark sibling. And I don't know if years have passed in the way they do like other shows.
I think years have passed.
Okay, in this point, they haven't seen another Stark sibling in 2 years. They're all just alone in the world. Except Bran and Rickon, they've seen each other. But Bran at this point is traveling with another guy. Okay, so Bran can warg, yes, but he can also move into the past. And I'm trying to remember if it's the future too, but he can definitely go into the past. Yes, he does see the future. Why do you think I came all this way?
All I'm gonna say about Bran, because I don't know, I don't care about him. I really don't.
It doesn't matter if you care about him or not. It's still important to the story. But at this point,
I don't give a fuck. Did we say
at this point, Bran, he sends his younger brother off to be reunited with another Stark sibling that he'll never make it to, and he's going down this path essentially to find someone called the Three-Eyed Raven. He's joined by he has 3 people with him. One of them also has powers, and because he's like, you're destined for this role. I don't know their name. I know one was Newt in the Maze Runner. And I haven't seen.
Why don't you know their name though, Maya?
I haven't seen Maze Runner a single day in my life, but I heavily ship his character with Dylan O'Brien because how are you telling me those aren't 2 homosexuals? Those are 2 homosexuals. Yeah, and Bran is they're just traveling to find the Three-Eyed Raven because Bran is destined to take over his role or whatever. But yeah, nothing else really happens with Bran because he's just sitting. He's just being pulled around the 7 kingdoms, essentially.
Yeah, he is. He's going through it.
And
I still don't give a fuck about him, though.
I don't even think it's that Bran's story is boring. It's just that there isn't an actual payoff, or at least the payoff isn't good for his story. So it just makes everything look bad in comparison. But moving on,
the payoff is literal shit.
Yeah.
So getting out of the north, we're gonna go back into the south. And we're going to. Do we want to talk about Arya for a little bit? Or do you want to talk about getting to Rob?
So where we left her last, her, Gendry, and Hot Pie were traveling. But plot twist: Gendry gets abducted. Remember, Gendry's he doesn't get abducted; he gets sold. Are they with the Brotherhood Without Banners? I think they are.
Yes, they end up getting Gendry. Her and Hot Pot end up getting found by the Brotherhood Without Banners, which are people who praise the sun, the Lord of Light, which I don't know what the fuck the Lord of Light is at this point.
I don't think anyone knows.
We talked about this last episode. We don't know what the fuck the Lord of Light is, so don't ask us. So
the Lord of Light has done 2 things. He has helped Melisandre produce a demon. No, he's done 3 things. He helped Melisandre produce a demon baby. He eventually lights up some swords in season 8, or gives her the ability to light up swords in season 8. And there's this one character, what's his name, that keeps resurrecting?
I couldn't tell you.
Darren, Don, whatever. No, wait, that might be the leader of the whatever the hell. But there's this one character who I honestly don't even think ends up being all that important. I don't even think the Brotherhood Without Banners is all that important, but maybe I'm crazy. But there's one character who has died a gazillion times, and he has a red priest that keeps bringing him back to life because the Lord wills it, or whatever the heck. But they sell Gendry, because remember, Gendry is Robert's sole living bastard. They sell him to Melisandre, actually, because she has to do some witchy woo with his blood. And Arya, they drop Hot Pie off somewhere. And Arya's like, I actually don't rock with you selling my friend, so I'm going to leave. And then she gets found, abducted, whatever, by the Hound.
She gets abducted by the Hound.
And I do not like the relationship that comes out of this, because it felt like, because they try to give them the reluctant mentor mentee, almost reluctant, like if you watch The Last of Us, they were trying to, I don't even remember their name, Joel and Ellie relationship, or like there are other characters, because I remember when this was happening like live or whatever, and people were comparing them to other like reluctant father, reluctant daughter, reluctant mentor, reluctant mentee type relationships. And I'm like, I hate that they're doing this so much, because he's on her list for a reason. Like, he's actually a terrible person. And it's almost like
he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck about her, probably in like a little bit until the end. And honestly, you can argue that he still doesn't give a fuck about her.
No, I think he cares about her as far as she meets his needs. Because if it had because what he wants to do is ransom her to her aunt. And when it gets to a point,
oh wait, no. What he wants to do first is ransom them to Rob and Caitlin.
Rob and Catelyn. Just get it right. I don't even like her, but get it right. He wants to ransom her.
Caitlin Stark.
Catelyn, bitch. He wants to ransom her
Fuck
to them.
Fuck that dirty bitch.
Amen. He wants to ransom her to them. But it's like, I think their relationship truly starts to develop more after that falls through for reasons.
Yeah. But for reasons we'll get into.
But even then, I don't like this, because he is an objectively terrible person. Because the thing about the Hound is he doesn't actually care about anything. So that's why he's fine doing whatever the hell the Lannisters tell him to do. He doesn't care that he's killing people or tormenting people. Like, yeah, he's not raping nobody like his brother, but like, he's still pretty bad guy. He's a pretty terrible guy, actually. So I just didn't like, it felt like we tried to make some people morally gray that didn't need to be morally gray. I'm like, no, he just freaking sucks because he doesn't stand up for anything. But people love the Hound, which I never understood. And they love his relationship with Arya, which Arya had a dad, and her dad for her was amazing. Like, imagine being a girl who doesn't want to do the girly stuff in this time period and actually having a dad that supports you. Granted, he was like, you'll be a princess one day. And she was like, no, I won't. And he was like, well, until then, here's a sword master. Like, he supported who she was. He loved her for who she was. And there probably would have came a point where he put his foot down and said, you have to marry. But we didn't get there because my man was murdered.
I don't necessarily hate their relationship, but it's not the best. And you are correct. He only gives a fuck about her because she's useful to him. And do I think that he would have gotten far when he bought her to Rob? No. I truly don't. Like, I honestly think they probably would have killed that motherfucker.
I think they would have tried to, failed, and he would have gotten away.
I don't think he would have gotten away. I truly think he would have died. But for whatever reason, he was still bringing her to them. And a part of her, like, felt weird about it. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm getting to see my family again, so I don't care.
Yeah, she does definitely still hate, because remember, they are
like, she's on
closer.
The list.
Like, he's one of the names she whispers to herself every night, like, I'm going to kill you.
Also, I don't know if we brought up the whole list. Actually, no, we'll bring up the list after we talk about something. But yeah, Arya has a whole list of people that she wants fucking dead. Obviously, all the Lannisters are on it, but anyone close to the Lannisters is also on it, and the Hound ends up being on it as well.
That's literally her. Fuck. That's her whole season 3. Her just traveling with the Hound.
It is.
And from there, we can go to the next Stark sibling.
Okay, so we kind of fucked Rob's story a little bit because some of us were going a little too far into it. But in season 2, Rob meets a nurse, like a volunteer nurse in his cause, and her name is Talisa. I'm gonna call her Talisa.
This was something I didn't understand.
Now,
Like-
okay, at this point, he has made the oath to Walder Frey to marry one of his daughters.
Because remember, we need his bridge. We need to cross his bridge.
We need his bridge. So he's already made this oath. Now he meets this nurse. And, instead of keeping it secret, instead of waiting until after they get past the wall, instead of doing anything of the sort, he decides to start I'm about to use awful words. He decides to start fornicating with Miss Talisa, and he ends up marrying her.
This is the thing, though.
Which directly breaks the oath that he made to Walder Frey.
This is a dumb... Okay, I want to say a couple things. His mother made that promise. He didn't make the promise. I'm pretty sure his mama made it.
But he still kept it.
But he would have still had to uphold it after she made it, because your word is your bond, especially with Northmen, though Walder is a Northman. But anyways, so that I want to make that clear. And two, him and this girl, so apparently it goes down differently in the books. Apparently he's like wounded or something like that after a battle, and I think I don't remember if it was Walder or the Boltons, but someone sends this girl to like nurse him back to health, and I think they drug him or whatever, and then make her sleep with him, and then, which is essentially rape, if it happened how I thought it did. And then after finding out that he did that, and I guess she's pregnant, I don't remember or not, but after he finds out that that's what happened, he's like, okay, I have to do the honorable thing and marry her. And part of me wishes they would have done that in the actual show, because in the show, the way it is he gets to know her, and after knowing her, he's like, oh my God, I just love you or whatever. And they sleep. I don't remember if they get married or sleep together and they get married.
They sleep together and then get married.
Okay. So they do that. And most of it was he loved her. But I think part of it was also just his honor telling him that's just the next step. But I don't understand. She was traveling with him, and she was
also, she was a baddie.
Yeah, she was cute.
I just want to say that. She was a baddie.
She was cute. She was tending to the wounds of the enemy and his soldiers, I guess. And I remember her being essentially snippy with him, saying wounded men are wounded men. And there was this, he was they were not arguing, but she was saying sly comments about how the war is stupid or whatever, and how men are dying pointlessly. And then he goes, well, they're lucky that you're here. And then she was like, he was unlucky that you were here. And I'm like, and that intrigues him. It was very much, she's the first one to ever stood up to me, to have never agreed with me. She's not like any woman I've ever met before. It's always the same old drivel. Just terrible, terrible writing, in my opinion. But especially after you establish that he is his father's son. Nobody is Ned. Okay, actually, John might be Ned Stark's son more than Robb is. I think Rob and John, nobody is more Ned Stark's child than those two. They might as well be Ned Stark with the way they carry themselves. But he ends up marrying her. But also, something that is important is he's not listening to his advisors. Now, mind you, it's more so there people are saying, oh, we should do this, and he's like, no, we're going to do this. And I remember Catelyn being like, son, you have to listen to people. You have to, this isn't a dictatorship or whatever. You have to make people feel heard or some mess like that. And I don't remember if he was necessarily making the wrong move, but it was just he wasn't he wasn't taking the counsel of those around him. And they understandably so got upset about that. It got to the point where I feel like one guy wanted to take his house and leave. And Rob was like, oh, bet, yeah, I'm going to behead the leader of your house.
It was Karstark. It was House Karstark. And yes. The dude was like, I don't give a fuck about y'all. You're a bitch baby.
Yes.
Because you don't want to kill these other Lannister cousins. And he was like, we're not killing children.
After he had bent the knee to Bro, calling him the king of the North. The king of the north.
And then he said, well, me and my people are out. And he said, you're directly breaking oath. You know what that means? That means death, bitch. And he cut his fucking head off.
And you could feel the gravity of the decision because he was like, we have been like sworn to your house for such and such eons, and you want to pull this BS. This is what you want to do. And like his father had taught him, his father said, the one who makes the decision swings the sword. And you can tell that it's troubling Rob. He didn't want to murder him, nobody. He ain't Joffrey crazy ass. But he cuts that man's head off, and that further sows dissent amongst his men. And one of the men that he is unknowingly sowing dissent with is Roose Bolton. With his, Roose, horrible guy, horrible father, just horrible husband, horrible all around. He's so unknowingly leading to deceit with Roose Bolton. And then, you can talk about what happens next because I'm going to get emotional.
So, I just want to do a little setup. I came into Game of Thrones knowing what the Red Wedding was. I didn't know the significance of it, but I knew what it was. Remember, I watched this show like a long time after it came out. In 2020, I believe is the first time I watched the show. So when I saw the Red Wedding come up, I was like, oh, I already know what's going to happen. But now it's like hitting even harder because I now love these characters. I don't like wrong or right. I still love most of these characters. Catelyn, hate her, but I love to hate her. Rob, love him, and I want to fuck the brakes off that man.
Oh, Jesus.
Till the wheels fall off, till the paint peel. Love him. Even Talisa Stark, because she is a Stark.
Technically she is a Stark.
The Red Wedding, for those who don't know, it starts. They get to the wall, and Walter's like, "So you broke your oath. What you gonna do?" And he was like, "My uncle actually wants to get married to one of your daughters." And Walter was like, "Okay, I guess he can marry instead of you." So they have a wedding for the uncle and one of the Walder Frey daughters. And everyone's so happy. Everyone's like drinking. Everyone's having fun. And then Roose Bolton is sitting next to Catelyn Stark. And Catelyn notices something. People start closing doors. Up in the balcony, the band starts playing Rains of Castamere, the Lannister theme.
It's insane to me that they actually did that. I thought that was an audience thing. But no, like she heard them playing that, and she was like, my spidey senses are tingling right now. What's going on?
She's like, what the fuck is happening?
And Rob's dumb ass was none the wiser.
Roose, I don't know what he said to her, but he said something to tick her off. And she looks at him, lifts up his tunic to see chainmail and armor, and slaps the fuck out of him and says, "Rob, run!" And you know what the next thing we see is? We see his pregnant wife getting stabbed in the stomach by one of Walder Frey's men. And then Walder Frey's men and Roose Bolton's men have a hell of a time killing the Stark men.
They do.
They go in, slitting throats, cutting the jugular, cutting Achilles, stabbing people in the back and the front. And Rob is crawling to his dying wife. And then I honestly forgot what anyone said in this scene. It's just I'm watching it as it happens and it's going in slow motion.
In the scene, Kat, so I remember Kat, like she moves over Roose's shirt or whatever, and she sees that he's wearing chainmail, and then shit just starts going. And like I feel like they stab warriors, hell, fucking assault. What do you call it? The people in the Stark army first. I feel like I could be wrong though, because at one point, Kat takes hold of one of Walter's wives or daughters. I don't remember which it is because I think it's one of his wives no, it's one of his daughters because he has a bunch of daughters.
He has wife daughters.
Okay, I thought so. I just didn't want to say that. Okay,
it's wife and it's both. It's wife and daughter. You were correct. You were correct.
She takes one of his daughter wives and she holds a knife to her throat and she's like, "I beg you, Walter, let my boy go. Take me, or I will." He was like, "No." She's like, "I will slit her throat if you don't let us go." And he's like, "I don't give two shits. I could make another one and marry another one." And she's like, "Please take me, but let Rob go." And she goes, I can literally hear her screaming in my head. This is the only time Kat got sympathy out of me, got empathy, emotion out of me. And she was like, "He is my firstborn son. My firstborn. Please let him go." And then like they kill Rob. I feel like they shoot him with an arrow or something after while he's crawling on the ground. But somehow they kill him dead, not just he's wounded, he's dead.
He's holding his dying wife.
After they have stabbed her, the stabbing her in the stomach.
She yells, "Rob,
insane.
Get up." I hear this in my sleep. "Rob, get up." And he
Not you hear it
rises.
In your sleep.
He rises and they volley him with crossbow arrows.
Yes, they shoot my boy. And then
heart, stomach, sternum, and he drops.
And you can see Kat give up. Like you can see it in her eyes. Shout out to the actress, bro. You can see like pure loss and devastation, and she just pure defeat. And then someone comes up behind her, not even 5 seconds later.
No. She kills the wife first.
No. I'm pretty sure it happens at the same time. I'm pretty sure as they slit her throat, she slit that girl's throat.
No, she starts crying, and she slits the girl's throat, and she's just standing there for like a 2-second pause, and then somebody comes behind her and then slits her throat, and she falls and dies.
And then my girl is gone.
And basically, that's another main character dead.
Oh!
This is the second time.
Pause. We're probably not going to talk about him in the future because I'm truly confused on how he comes up in the future anyway. Like I remember, but I halfway remember when Rob and Catelyn arrived, they offered Walder Edmure Tully in place of Rob so they could still have the connection. I guess it wouldn't be between Stark and Frey. It would now be between Tully and Frey. But since Starks and Tullys are family, Freys and Starks would be family at that point. And Walter's like, "Oh yeah, cool, let's do that." And they married him and they have a celebration. And Edmure is taken off to do, what husband and wives do on their wedding night. And then that's when the suspicious music and the murdering commences. And Edmure is held hostage for multiple seasons. But it's just hearing what was supposed to happen after this, because apparently in the books they dump her body in a river, I think. I don't know. And somehow she resurrects, but it's not her exactly. It's just this being that just wants vengeance for the wrongdoing that happened to her family. And I don't know who she kills, but apparently she may or may not go on a killing spree. She was really just not playing about who took her
Honestly,
babies.
I wish they did that. That's another fantasy element that they just cut, and I don't understand why.
Part of me wonders if they didn't understand it. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. They themselves didn't understand what why things were happening the way they were and what exactly was going on. So they're like, "Oh, we're just not going to talk about it because if we don't know, we can't explain it to other people." That's the only thing that makes sense.
Literally, the only two fantasy elements are the Lord of Light, which again I don't understand for shit.
It's awful.
And Daenerys Targaryen. Those are the only two.
My girl.
That's it.
Well, the White Walkers are fantastical, but they don't.
Oh yeah,
but
and
again,
the White Walkers.
They don't. They they don't even truly expand because they show us the forest folk making the OG White Walker out of a man, and they show us Craster's baby being turned into a White Walker, but that is literally it. We don't know anything else. Like, why do the White Walkers eventually turn on their creators? Oop, can't tell you. We don't know. And it's just, it makes me mad. And I keep saying I'm gonna read the book so I can get the answers, but let's be honest, he never finishing those books. So I ain't gonna do that either. While all this is happening, my girl Arya is down the street. Arya and the Hound are down the street on some horse, and they taking their time strolling. Cause why do we gotta rush? We know where they are. We're not even 5 minutes away. And when they get there, bro, when they get there, she sees her brother's dire wolf's head attached to her brother's body via a stick. And when I tell you, my girl never wins. Never! Like,
they hate Arya.
They must.
They hate Arya.
They must, because I can't even imagine. See, it's not even the fact that he was murdered. Granted, and also, illegal isn't a strong enough word. It is. There are just things that you don't do in Game of Thrones. And killing people that you are hosting after promising them safety is one of those things. Imagine like cardinal sins. Like what's the 10 testaments, commandments of the Bible? You don't break those things. And Walder Frey and his house and House Bolton, they broke that cardinal rule, that cardinal law. And it's like, bro, incest is another thing you don't do. But it's like, bro, what? Are you sick in the head? And so like oh my God. But yeah, that's where Arya ends. That's where all the Stark siblings end. Just pure suffering.
Okay, so it's just awful in Westeros. But now we have to talk about Daenerys because she is the baddest bitch in the fucking show. Okay, so in Essos, Daenerys Targaryen, rolls up on a slave merchant who owns the Unsullied, which is a gigantic army of eunuchs that can fight bitches down.
They are eunuchs.
They get their genitals cut off. I'm not
pretty
lying.
Young,
they are
because they like, we don't want you to want anything other than fighting.
Exactly.
Crazy.
So, long story short, Miss Girl eats bitches up, eats up all the slave owners, and takes the Unsullied. She burns all the slave owners. She takes the Unsullied, and also takes Missandei.
It sounded like he was about to say Missandei.
Yeah, I was gonna say Missandei. Missandei, as her right hand woman. And that's about it.
She frees the Unsullied by doing her second Dracarys of the show. And this is what I thought was her first. So that's my bad on my memory, because it was epic. And essentially after burning the slavers, she says, hey, kill all the slavers. And they do that. And so she becomes the I don't want to say queen, but for lack of a better word, queen of Young Kai after she does this. Did you say that?
Yes. Breaker of chains.
Yes. And so, but the ending scene here is a little weird if you look at it from the lens of me, a young Black woman. It's a white woman being lifted into the air by a bunch of brown people, being called mother and savior and all these things. And it's like, yes, she did save you. This is true. But this is still very weird. Like they're worshiping her, and it's so weird. But
she's a white savior.
Yeah, very much so.
She's a white savior.
It's kind of sick and a little weird because, like, my girl, that's not who Daenerys is, y'all. I hate D&D.
She's a bad bitch. I swear.
Like, I swear, y'all, she's not a fucking weirdo. She does not think POC are beneath her. But
also, we should also mention that Daenerys meets another person he is called the second. He's the leader of the Second Sons.
He's one of
Don't
the
ask
leaders.
me his name.
There are three Second Sons.
He's one of the leaders of the Second Sons, and he kills the other two. So now he's the leader of the second,
or some shit like that. But another character,
is that his name?
Yeah, another character,
whatever,
who I didn't understand. I'm like
his purpose. They were so stupid.
Like,
and in the next season, he does change actors.
He does, and everybody hated it. And I was like, well, the first one, everybody was like, oh my god, like the first one looked better. The first one was fucking hideous. So you can get him out of my face.
Yes, the first one was ugly.
He was.
The second one was kind of cute.
The second one was cute. Not kind of. He was cute.
But his purpose is like nothing. He basically gives Daenerys the Second Sons, and now she has a Dothraki horde, the Unsullied, and the Second Sons.
I really think
arsenal.
They could have just made the Dothraki horde bigger and taken out the Second Sons.
But that's what they do, girl.
Because we don't need the Second Sons.
They truly act like the Dothraki like respawn.
I mean, not the Dothraki. I'm sorry. I meant the Unsullied. And that's for a later date, Deshaun. Shut up.
Oh,
that's for
yeah. No. It's not even for a later date.
It's for later.
Now.
Because she doesn't lose any men.
She doesn't lose any Unsullied, but she loses some Dothraki because some die of starvation.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't that many. And also, remember, she took a bunch because she had a lot. Like, she didn't just have what's his name? Her husband, her dead husband. She didn't just have his Dothraki. She had everybody's Dothraki.
Okay, whatever. Fine.
One last thing before we move to season 4, just to be noted, is back in King's Landing. Tywin is running things now. He said, Tyrion, get out. You did all you could. And you sucked at it. And so he's running things now. And one thing about Tywin, when he makes when he says move, his family says when he says jump, his family says how high. So he decides that Joffrey is going to marry Marjorie of House Tyrell. Remember, she was married to the Baratheon brother, who was also a homosexual on the side.
Renly.
But Renly was murdered. He was murdered. Oh, by a demon, baby. So they make that alliance there. They're not married yet, but they're engaged or whatever. And this frees up our girl Sansa. So like it's kind of like a win. And for a hot minute, Sansa is scheming with Marjorie's grandmother, Olenna. Oh,
baddest bitch in the game. You can't touch her. She is my favorite character. You can't touch my girl.
If we want to say Tywin has a sharp tongue, don't even play with my girl Olenna. She's playing games on games on games.
Their fight in this season, unmatched. It's so good.
But, okay,
I remember this line specifically when she goes, a sword swallower through and through.
Okay, we're trying to move. Okay.
I'm sorry.
So while they're her and Littlefinger, because remember he's obsessed with Sansa, are both trying to get Sansa out. But Tywin, because though Olenna's 10 steps ahead today, Tywin was 11. He said, so I actually know what you're doing. So not only are you not going to take the Stark girl from me, the Stark girl is going to marry my son Tyrion, because I don't think my son Tyrion is worth anything. And I want to embarrass them both, essentially. I don't remember how this looked bad for Tyrion, but like it did look bad for Sansa just because Tyrion was a little person. And it's like it actually made me really sad that they he was so nice to her. But anyways, and that's where we end up with, he also told his daughter Cersei to marry the gay brother Loras. And Cersei was like, I will not. Only brother I'm doing is my own. And Tywin was like, so you will marry his brother and you'll shut up and be happy about it. And on to season 4.
Cersei may be vicious, but she's not stupid. She'll turn the boy against you as soon as she can. The Regent is rather distracted at the moment, mourning her dear departed boy. Accusing her brother of his murder, which he didn't commit.
You don't know, Grandmother.
But I do know. You don't think I'd let you marry that beast, do you? Don't you worry yourself about all that. You just do what needs to be done.
In King's Landing, King Joffrey is assassinated at his wedding. Oh my God, the cleaning lady! I can't believe I missed that! In King's Landing, King Joffrey is assassinated at his wedding with her granddaughter Marjorie, but Tyrion is falsely accused of murder by his family. Peter Baelish smuggles Sansa into the Vale, ruled by her aunt and his lover. Because remember, I didn't say this, but Tywin sent Peter off to get married to Catelyn's sister because he found out that he was trying to sneak out Sansa. To the widowed Lisa Arryn, Littlefinger plans to steal power from the Vale using Lisa's jealousy against her. Lisa's been obsessed with him since birth because she's a weirdo, and her kid's like 10 and she's still breastfeeding him. You know, thinking about that and how they didn't have an intimacy coordinator on set really like scares me. Jaime arms Brienne to assist in her search for the Stark daughters. Screw Jaime. Having returned to the Night's Watch, Jon Snow defends Castle Black against an army of wildlings who are superior in strength. The Watch is rescued by the arrival of Stannis the Manus Baratheon and his forces.
Girl, did you...
A crippled Stannis the Manus. Stannis actually has some shooters, Deshaun. Like, people ride for Stannis. Like, they're like, Stannis is the rightful king. And I remember when I found that out, I was like, people ride for Stannis?
You mean 10 people? You mean about 10 people?
No, Stannis has shooters, bro. But no, Stannis actually has shooters. Like, you don't understand. People think that is the rightful king of Westeros. They think he's the smartest guy to ever walk the earth. I'm like,
no.
They call him Stannis the Manus. They love
Girl,
him.
keep going. Is there like one more?
There's two more.
Go.
A crippled Bran with newfound powers travels north beyond the wall with a few companions. Beneath a weirwood tree, he finds a three-eyed raven, an old man with the ability to perceive future and past. In Essos, Daenerys takes control of Meereen and abolishes slavery. She is then given a new title as the Breaker of Chains, Mother of Slaves, Misa, when she discovers that her trusted advisor, Ser Jorah Mormont, has spied on her for Robert Baratheon. She exiles him. This is my thing. Robert was dead, bro. Like, why do you even care? This man is dead.
Right.
Like, girl, if I was Jorah,
fuck him.
If I was Jorah, I'd be like, girl, this is old news. Like, he's literally dead. Like, Your Honor, who cares? But that's what Jorah should have did. Like, girl, come on. You know I'm old and creepy and in love with you. But going back to the top, I feel like we should just go in order of how we mentioned it. Essentially, Joffrey gets married to my good sis Marjorie. But after this, like immediately after, like they say their vows, they sit down to eat cake, and what happens? He's murdered.
When I tell you, so this is the thing that I looked up when I started watching the show. I didn't give a fuck about spoilers. I looked up what episode does Joffrey die.
Why would you look that up?
Because I didn't want to be surprised. I wanted to go into the episode cheering. I wanted to go into the episode praising the Lord that motherfucker was dead. And when he died, when I saw the life leave his eyes, he died in a horrific way. And I lived for it. I love seeing him grip at his neck. I love seeing him turning purple. I love seeing him just die. And it was amazing. I cheered. I cheered. I rewinded at least 5 times. And every single time I fucking cheered. It was amazing.
Blown out.
It was beautiful. And when his gnarled finger got up to point at fucking Tyrion, like he knew that Tyrion killed him, I wanted to smack the fuck out of him. I said, this is the last awful thing that you do before you die. He
knew, like, it's funny that you say he knew because that was weird. He didn't do it. My boy was innocent.
He said...
Like, but y'all, like, I need you to imagine the character you hate the most. I feel like the character, he's definitely in my top 5 of most hated characters. I feel like number 1 will always be Charlotte from H2O because I hated that bitch. But like, you don't understand the anger she evoked in me as a child. But like, I need you to imagine the person you hate the most in this world, in television, in film, whatever, in books. Hell, Donald Trump, like imagine them. And then they're at their peak happiness. And then they start to die. Pain. Like, bro was turning purple. His eyes was like some kind of blood tear, whatever was coming out of him. Pupils blown, eyes red, choking. His mama running to him. Joffrey, breathe. Joff. Nobody could help this man. He was suffering. And this was after he spent his whole wedding bullying his uncle. I'm like, he was just a butthole from start to beginning. But like it was beautiful, y'all. And I'm pretty sure that's how we started the season. It was like, yes, cinema. Oh, it was honestly probably it was number one death in Game of Thrones. Like number one death in Game of Thrones for me. Like nobody came close to what I wanted to happen to that boy. I was like, yeah.
No, for real. It was this is the best death they do for one of the Lannisters, and I live for it.
That's the only good Lannister death, mind you. Like the only good one. Tywin's would probably be number 2. Oh, spoiler alert!
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well,
but
I thought he was gonna be a heavy hitter too. Anyways,
after this, Tyrion, and you can get into this because I feel like you said 4 was your favorite. No, you said 3 was your favorite.
Yes.
Never mind.
No, 4 is my favorite.
Oh, okay.
4 is my favorite.
You can get into Tyrion.
4 is my favorite for 2 reasons. Well, 3 reasons. 1, Joffrey dies. 2, Peter Dinklage gives us one of the best performances I've ever seen on TV, period. In that trial, he ate hoes up, but I'll get into that later. But my 3rd reason is because of Oberyn Martell.
Oh, this was my introduction to Pedro Pascal, mind you. I was just like, guys, pansexuality is real, you know. Or I mean, you can also say bi, but I feel like I feel like Oberyn was pan.
And Pedro, but they both get pansexual.
Yeah, as soon as Pedro tells me what he likes and dislikes, then I will talk about his sexuality. Until he tells me, I ain't got nothing to say.
All I know is I want to fuck him. I don't give a fuck what he
desperately.
Is.
Oh my god! And his Oberyn get up, and his Joel get up, in his Star Wars get up, in his Kingsman get up.
Let's continue with Oberyn Martell is my 3rd reason, but Tyrion is put in jail and on trial for the murder of Joffrey, and throughout this whole entire thing, he knows it's going to be a witch hunt. He knows his dad is going to find a way to make him guilty. So he tells all the people that he loved to leave, including his girlfriend, which we haven't brought up yet, Shay. He tells her, I don't like you. I think you ugly. I think you stupid. Go back to your home. I don't give a fuck. The boat's here. It's waiting on you. Pack your bags and get the fuck out. So she leaves and he gets put in jail. And he gets put on trial. And this trial is a complete fucking farce. It's like completely... It's completely awful. And then he's like, okay, my grave's been dug. I'm going to die. It is what it is. But then he looks up at the last witness and he sees that it's Shay, his girlfriend, that he told to get the fuck out, and he feels fucking betrayed. He honestly, at first, maybe he thought that she is his savior, but then she looks at him with dead eyes because of the shit that he said to her. He literally called her a whore, and that's the one thing that he had never called her before. And she sits up there and lies through her fucking teeth and tells everybody he's a monster, he's a crook, he planned Joffrey's death. He tried to act like that his dick was big and it's small as fuck. Like he never had me screaming at night like he can't fuck for shit. So I forgot what he said, but he basically in so many words
something along the lines of, I wish I was the monster all of you think I am, but I'm not, da-da-da. And then like he says how evil everyone in the city is. Now he's done so much for them. He's the only reason they're not dead. And he's like, he wishes they were all dead. He wishes he had enough poison to kill all of them. And everyone's just like, gasp, gasp, gasp. And
they basically take that as his like confession.
Incorrect.
I don't know why, but
no, because
girl, let me finish. Let me finish.
I'm gonna let you cook.
Let me finish. Okay, damn. Because everyone's like looking at him like he's a fucking monster, and he says, "Fuck all you bitches. I want a trial by combat."
I will say, I wish I could think about I'm trying to say, I need to find the exact phrasing because I actually love when he's like, I know that I'm not going to get anything from you bitches. I'm not going to get the respect, the consideration that I deserve. I know this is a shitty trial. This is a fucking sham. So I'm going to put it in the hands of the gods. Trial by combat. And everyone's like, gasp, gasp. Oh, can he do that? Gasp.
And he, for some reason, thinks that Jamie is going to be his champion. Maybe because like Jamie trusts him or whatever. But I forgot why Jamie said no. But one of the reasons was he's not what he used to be. He knows he's going to die if he goes into that arena. That's also the main reason why he said no. I thought that was another reason.
I think in general, Jamie wouldn't have done it because that would mean going up against Cersei, because Cersei was fully convinced that Tyrion had killed their son. And Cersei's actually one that was like, he killed your king, arrest him. So I think Jamie wouldn't have done that even if he was able-bodied, because he's been training, but he's just not back to himself yet. So I don't think he would have done it. But I think the main reason he gives Tyrion is like, I'm physically, I can't, my bro, I can't. Love you, king.
And then he asked Jamie, and then he asked the other dude. I forgot his name. What's the dude's name? The
he asked, what's his name? Bronn.
Okay, he asked Bronn, which is like his best friend throughout season 1 through 3. And Bronn also says no. He's like, your family gave me land, so I'm actually not going to fight for you because you don't have shit to offer me.
It's so funny because which I think I really like, because at the end of the day, most relationships in Game of Thrones are transactional. Like, we are besties up until it no longer benefits me. And I will say Bronn was the one of few people that was always honest about it. Like, he would joke about like, oh, if the other side offers me a castle, bitch, I'm turning. I'll kill you for them. Like, I'll kill you right now. And he did. Like, Tyrion was like, haha, I know, ha. But then he's like, okay, Bronn, I need you. He's like, actually, no, your sister, I was about to say your wife, your sister gave me a castle. And you've been saying you're going to give me a castle for eons, and your sister finally did it. So fuck you.
So, yeah, he said no. And then he thinks that he's out of options. And then Oberyn comes up and he's like, hey, girly, I'll be your champion. And Oberyn does it only because he wants to fight Cersei's champion, which is the Mountain. Mm-hmm. And a little context, the Mountain raped and killed Oberyn's sister.
And her children.
Right? His sister. And her children.
You raped my sister. You murdered her children.
So he just wants to go at the Mountain. That's the only reason he's being his champion.
Yes, because
and they get to the fight.
Wait. Before we get what? I'm trying to say some shit before we get to the fight. Tyrion doesn't ask him to be his champion. Oberyn comes to Tyrion. They have a conversation, and he says he'd be his champion. But this is one of my favorite Oberyn moments, because in talking to him, he's like, I remember when you when you were younger and I came and visited, like me and my family, and Cersei was like, do you want to see the monster that murdered my mother? And Oberyn was like, okay, sure, girl, whatever. And so he brings her to Tyrion's room, and he's like, do you see? Like, he's a monster. And Oberyn's like, but I couldn't see a monster. All I saw was just a baby. And I was just like, this man is too good for this world. Like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like it really shows that Cersei from jump was just fucked. She was just fucked up. She was devious. And Tyrion never had a chance. Mind you, this whole time, his father is gleeful. His father wants him dead, y'all.
And he keeps denying it for some fucking reason. I don't know why he continues to deny the fact that he wants him fucking dead.
Like, everyone knows that Cersei and Tywin blame Tyrion for their mother's death. Some people, there's a theory, granted, I guess it's never really confirmed, but there's a theory that the mother cheated with a Targaryen, and Tyrion's actually a Targaryen, and like Tywin knows, and that's why he hates him. But anyways, Tywin hates that boy.
That's a good theory. That is a good theory. Sorry, gonna keep going. So we get into the arena. Oberyn and the Mountain are looking at each other. They're sizing each other up, and they say, "Fight." They start fighting, and Oberyn starts beating the motherfucker's ass. Hasn't had a scratch on him yet. mollywopping him left and right in this fucking arena. And he gets him on. Where did he stab him? He stabbed him somewhere fatally.
Where did he stab who? Like, I think it. Why did I say who? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I think it was just. It wasn't in the heart because the nigga got up. I feel like it was like upper body, upper chest.
It was a lot. It was a lot of cuts. He just like kept cutting him, and while he's cutting him, he's talking to him and basically reading him down for killing his sister and his kid and her kids. And he's cutting him, and then he gets him on the ground. He stabs him with his fucking spear, and then he says, "Well, I forgot."
He's something along the lines
because you said it.
The whole time he's screaming at him, admit it, you murdered my sister. You raped her children. You murdered her children.
And then he turns, I think he's talking to
the audience.
Tywin now. He's talking to Tywin.
Tywin, yeah.
He's talking to Tywin now. And while he's distracted, the Mountain grabs his dumb ass and holds his head and crushes it. He crushes it, puts his thumbs in his eyes. It's gruesome. It's a gruesome fucking death.
While screaming, I raped and murdered your sister. I murdered her children.
So mad that Pedro Pascal was wasted like this. Granted, it was a great role and he was beautiful, but Pedro Pascal could have been used for so much more. I wanted to see him on my screen more, and y'all took that away from me. So fuck you.
No, and honestly, and this is another plot fall of the writers of the show. Him, like the Sands, the Martells, not Martells. No, yeah, Martells. The Martells, like everything about them was so freaking interesting, bro. Like Oberyn literally said, "I have a million brothers and sisters. We don't believe in bastards. We're all family." Well, not Oberyn. His girl did. And like they had such an intriguing dynamic. And watching her react to his death was horrible because she was freaking horrified. And there was just so much about them that we never get to see. And I hate the writers for this. I hate them so much. But yep, that's essentially. And then after that, it's like, oh, Tyrion's definitely going to die. But one thing Jaime does is has a soft spot for his brother, his little brother. And so he sneaks Tyrion out of the cell and he's like, "Run, brother, run." And so Tyrion decides to run upstairs and goes to his father's room to be like, "Dad, why do you hate me?" But then he finds Shay of all people and he's like, "Oh my God, you really are a whore." And he murders her. I'm not even mad at it. Like, okay. And yeah, he chokes her to death. And then he goes in search of Tywin with a crossbow. And he's like, he finds him on the toilet and he's like, "Fuck you, Dad." And he shoots him. And then Tywin's dead. Like the head of House, whatever the fuck, Lannister has been murdered. And
Tyrion leaves Westeros with Varys to go.
I would more say Varys takes Tyrion. He low-key
puts him in a box.
Yeah, like he low-key abducted that nigga. He said, "Okay, so don't breathe. I'm gonna get you out, but like also I'm not telling you where you're going. I'm taking you against your will, and you're gonna stay in this box." And Tyrion's like, "Okay."
I mean, better than death, and then jumps in the box.
Better than death.
So Tyrion's gone, and we have to skip something.
Rapid fire. The only thing that's going with Sansa, her aunt tries to kill her. Peter's like, "I actually hate you, aunt." Oh, he also kisses Sansa because he's weird, and he kills her aunt, takes over the veil. Brienne is sent to go because remember she was sworn to Catelyn, and she told Catelyn she'd find her daughters. Jaime sends Brienne with Eddard's sword.
Podrick.
With what?
Podrick.
Oh, yeah, I guess. But like, I was thinking about a piece of Ned's sword because Tywin cut it down. That shows you how weak bro is. Like, he can't even carry the sword that Ned could because it was too big. But Tywin cut the sword down into two swords and gave one to what's his name, Jamie, and Jamie gave that to Brienne. He's like, hey, go track down the Stark girl. And so she goes to track down Arya, joined by Potherod, and I actually should. Eventually, she comes across Arya in the mountain because now they are on their way to the Vale because he's like, I gotta ransom you to somebody. And Arya, and at this point, they've been bonding a little bit more. You know, I already told you how I feel about that. And she's like, hey, Arya, your mom sent me, even though she's dead now, but like, hey, come with me. And she's like, you're literally using a Lannister sword that was stolen from my father. So I will actually not go anywhere with you, you tall bitch. And she was like,
oh wait, wait. Before you get into that, the Hound and Arya get to the Vale and they find out that Littlefinger actually killed Sansa and Arya's aunt.
Because he doesn't tell people it's Sansa, he tells people it's his niece.
Yeah. So nobody knows that Sansa's there.
Yes.
But the Hound was taking Arya to the aunt. So when they get there and they find out the aunt is dead, Arya like busts out laughing because this is the second time this shit has happened to her. She's like, my whole family's fucking dead. Like this is fucking hilarious. You're not getting your money, bitch. Now what? We're stuck together.
I'll never be stupid. I will never be
but
safe.
She doesn't know. She doesn't know that Sansa's there because nobody knows that Sansa's there.
Mind you, we told you the Stark siblings are always 2 feet away. But there's a wall in between, and they don't know. But
they
honestly,
hate Arya.
Arya Sansa reunion probably wouldn't have gone well at that point.
Oh, not at all. Not the fuck at all. I'm glad. You know what? Now you can continue if you want. But after that, Arya's just like training, and then Brienne and Podrick, Potherod. I want to fuck that man. Find her. And she's very weary.
Yes. Oh, by the way, she got her sword and needle back because she found one of the dudes on her list and murdered him. Also, her and the Hound murdered a bunch of Frey people that was bragging about murdering the Starks. And she added, and you said we talk about the list later. So Arya has this list of names of people that have wronged her and her family in her so far in her life or whatever. And she's like, I will murder them. This is how you know my girl is different from Jump. What is she? 12? I will murder you. I will murder you. And the Hound, Sandor Clegane, is still on her list at this point. And someone else that has been recently added to her list is bitch ass Walder Frey, because he killed her mama and her oldest brother. But so when Brienne comes, Arya's like, no, big bitch, I don't know you. And so Brienne, mind you, the Hound is a force to be reckoned with. And what does Brienne do? She throws him over a cliff. She literally hands him his ass. And Arya is just like, no, for real. Like, he should be embarrassed. And not because she's a woman, but because he just lost so bad. Like, you're the Hound? The way I just destroyed you with ease? Now, obviously, she walked away with a little bruises, but she beat his ass. And though Arya was, she was impressed, she still said, I don't know you, stranger. So she hid or whatever. And eventually Brienne and Podrick leave. They're still looking for her, I think, but like they leave assuming that she's left. And Arya robs the Hound. He's like half dead. And he's like, kill me. And she's like, actually, no, but I will take your money. And she gets on, I was about to say a plane. They ain't got planes. She gets on a boat to, where does she go? She's going to Bravos. She gets on a boat to Bravos because remember that's where her the guy who first taught her in sword fighting was from, and that's also where the guy who said she could come train with the faceless men, give people this coin, is where he's from. So that's what she's going to do, going to train.
She's going to train with the many-faced god.
Yeah. That guy, next, don't know anything about him either.
Would be John.
So, next, John Boy.
Okay, essentially the only thing that happens with John is that he warns the Night's Watch about the Wildling army, and they end up fighting a few months later. And they hold off the wildlings up to the point where Stannis gets there and saves them.
Stannis the Menace.
Stannis is at the wall now because he's the only person that heeded their call to arms because of the Wildling army. So he saves them. They take Mance Rayder hostage, and they take our man. What's his name?
Tormund Giantsbane.
They take our man Tormund Giantsbane hostage. I want to fuck that man so bad.
Okay, skip that.
In the middle of all of this fighting, unfortunately, Ygritte dies.
She was murdered.
Ygritte is murdered by a little boy that has anger issues.
Right? Okay, we didn't introduce Oliver.
Arrow right through her throat.
Through her throat is crazy. We didn't introduce Oliver, but basically Oliver saw Ygritte, not to her specifically, I don't think, but he saw like her group of people, the group that her and Jon were with, murder his parents. And like he saw Ygritte, y'all. Like they murdered his parents. And then the watch took him in. And now he sees this bitch again. He's like, oh, I'm about to put you down. And so he does put her down. But it's like, it's at the moment when Ygritte and Jon are looking at each other and like, they're like, do we fight each other? Do we not fight each other? I still love you. Do you remember when we was in that cave being nasty? And Jon's choice is taken away because little Oliver, who at this point isn't a piece of shit, but that bastard unfortunately grows up. Little Oliver puts her down. And Jon is just distraught. Fire and blood and all this crap is going on around him, and he on the floor hugging the love of his life. Because that's what y'all should. Another thing, a key thing to remember in this show, no matter what we say moving forward, Ygritte was the love of Jon Snow's life. But yeah, that's where we leave Jon with Stannis the Menace. Oh, by the way, before Stannis got to the Night's Watch, him and Melisandre were burning a bunch of people alive to
appease
the Lord of Light. And do they burn so and so or no? Not yet.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet. Almost.
They were burning a bunch of people alive. And our guy Davos is still alive. That boat blew up, but he's still alive and he's back with his man Stannis. Mind you, Stannis cut off 4 of his fingers and he's working with this demon woman, but Davos loves him some Stannis the Menace.
He does try to kill the demon woman, though.
Well, yes. And then Stannis is like, I'm going to kill you. And then the demon woman's like, hey, actually, I think you need him for what's to come. And then Stannis... And
he's like, okay, I guess I can keep you.
Like, the way I would have left after that, like, wait, I've shown you loyalty for so long. My son is dead. You've taken 4 of my fingers. And the only reason you keep me is because this dark priestess tells you goodbye.
Yeah, I'm leaving. Definitely. So that happens at the wall. I'm skipping Bran. I don't give a fuck about him.
Guys, Bran eventually, he's still traveling. He meets the 3-eyed raven under a weirwood tree, which has significance, but the show is terrible at explaining it. And basically, the 3-eyed raven can travel to the past and the future. And apparently, I don't think this old man has done anything before teaching Bran. What? The way the 3-eyed raven is actually so pointless because that old man didn't do anything.
So he did jack shit. He was just in the fucking tree. That's it.
Like, I'm pretty sure roots grew out of him how long he was in there, or grew into him. But okay, it's whatever, I guess.
So, I know we're fast forwarding a lot, but the last thing that we need to talk about is Daenerys, motherfucking Targaryen, mother of slaves, breaker of chains, Messiah.
Oh, is
whatever the fuck they were saying.
No, is that why it's Misa? It's Messiah.
Oh, it might be. Oh my god,
is that what Misa means?
It is Misa.
They used to be like Misa. Misa,
Messiah. Misa.
Yeah, Misa not mean mother. I don't know. One of those things. Mother of slaves is actually insane. Good God.
And she basically frees all of Slaver's Bay and becomes the queen. Like, she's ruling over people now as a queen. So she honestly has her own kingdom, and I truly think she should have stayed there. But she's ruling over this kingdom, and during this she finds out that Jorah Mormont betrayed her So she kicks his ass out of the fucking kingdom, tells him to beat feet and kick rocks down that fucking pavement. I don't give a fuck about where you going. And she's distraught because that was like her closest friend. But
No,
I don't know,
that was her longest ally. I wouldn't say closest friend. Her longest ally.
I would say closest friend until he said I love you. Until he said I love you.
As soon as she's her and Masande were bumping cooters the moment they met each other, platonically bumping cooters.
They were not bumping cooters. That was a platonic.
They were platonically bumping cooters the moment they met each other.
There's no way to platonically bump
yes,
cooters.
Yes, you can platonically bump cooters. Like, hey, girl, I want to bump my cooter. Like, hey. And you just, like, it's a greeting.
Can we bump cooters?
You don't have a cooter. I wish you would accept that. I really wish you would. Gay men are so weird.
I can bump my ass up to your cooter.
I would be so uncomfortable, actually. We could just bump booties. Good God.
Okay, let's bump booties.
I would
let's
cry.
Bump booties.
Like, what?
Please.
Okay, next time we see each other.
And watch you go flying.
Oh, from your flat. Oh, don't even get me started.
I ain't nothing flat about me, sister. Anyways.
But I think at this point, it ends with her sending him off. No. I'm sorry. It doesn't end with her sending him off. So Daenerys finds a lot of trouble in ruling, actually. So one, Slaver's Bay, imagine the United States, but it's split up into like 3 different really big territories. So as soon as she leaves territory A, she goes to free territory B. But while she's freeing B, people in A decide we're going to bring back slavery. So she's going back and forth trying to control like the peace or whatever, or trying to keep the peace and keep the freedom. So she's having trouble with that. Also, her dragons are growing by the day, by the minute, by the hour. Them bitches are fucking huge. And she doesn't actually know how to take care of them. Which, why would she? There hasn't been a dragon in centuries, but I'm pretty sure it's been 300 years since the last dragon. But she doesn't know how to take care of them. And I'm pretty sure the problem becomes they're not eating properly in the way that, like, to satiate their needs and instincts or whatever. And so one of her constituents comes to her. He's like, hey, so I love you, Misa. Appreciate you freeing me, but your dragon just burned my child to death. And he actually brings her the charred bones of his child. And, and she was horrified. This is how you know my girl she's such a good person. She was freaking horrified. And so she decides to lock up her dragon, Rhaegal and Viserion. She puts them in a tomb, and she puts a chain around their neck and locks them in a tomb, which is actually really depressing for her because, mind you, these are her children. But if I was
she's
them,
crying while she does it.
Yes, she's distraught. If I was them, I would be so mad because they didn't even do anything. It was Drogon, because Drogon can't listen to save his life. Like, sometimes I'm like, Drogon, do you hate your mother? Like, Drogon is the kid. Like, imagine the parable of the sower. The parable, the long lost son parable. The son, the son that leaves. The prodigal son parable, he leaves and he goes drugging and drinking and whoring and spending all this money and gambling. And he comes back, Dad, I'm sorry, I'm out of money. And the dad's like, I welcome you back into my arms. But imagine if the boy just kept going back and forth. Because Drogon comes home, he's like, okay, Mom, I'll be good. And then he actually leaves and he wreaks havoc. And then he comes home and wreaks havoc. And she's like, Drogon, babe, behave. And he's like, okay, Mom, I'll behave. Like, all he does is wreak havoc and everybody else is getting punished but Drogon. Like, but also, how do you punish a dragon? She just doesn't. Essentially, I feel like we learned that she doesn't know what she's doing. Like, in season 1 and 2, Season 1 was her becoming Daenerys. Season 2 was her realizing, hey, I need to put something behind my name other than the fact that my last name is Targaryen. Season 3 and 4 is her realizing, like, 3, she frees the slavers and she's like, people are always going to underestimate me, but I'm always that bitch. But 4 is like her realizing, wait, ruling is actually hard. And, like, I don't actually know what I'm doing. And I think that's part of actually no, that'll get into season 5. So yeah, so like it's her
ruling is hard, and it's hard to take care of wild fucking animals.
Like she realizes I'm in over. She never says it. I don't think that she's in over her head, but that girl don't know what the fuck she doing. Po baby.
Obviously, she's never until the whole Mother of Dragons thing. She's never been in a position of power.
Never.
Big.
Like it's always been Viserys say, "Hey, we going this way." And she's like, "Okay." And now she has to make decisions.
She's learning as she goes, and she learns fast.
Trial by fire.
She picks up quick.
I feel like the biggest thing for her was her dragons. I think it ends. I think she exiles him before the dragon stuff, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, but basically it ends with her exiling Jorah and locking up her dragons because one was going crazy, but the other two were behaving.
Also, Sir Barristan Selmy joins her because Joffrey kicked him out because he said you old as hell, even though he's the best swordsman the Seven Kingdoms has ever seen. But like,
he eats down.
But like, do we ever see him quote unquote eat down? I don't remember him fighting once, maybe twice. But like, I think he's another character that's wasted.
He fights twice.
He's another wasted character. Like we don't. Like not just maybe he has a bigger part in the books, but in the show he feels essentially pointless because it's like you tell me he's the greatest swordsman there ever was. Actually, he tells me that. He says I'm the greatest swordsman there ever was, and it's like
you're so
okay, like you're not showing me that one. Like he fight twice, and it's like okay, like it's nothing too spectacular. Like he holds his own, but that's it. But at one point, I don't know when he died, so I ain't gonna say that. But it's like it's like Barristan, you mean nothing. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad for the actor though, because the actor was like, Barristan Selmy actually has like a great arc or something like that. And then the writers cut it short and he was like, okay, so I hate everything about this.
I hate the writers. So I guess that was season 3 and 4 of Game of Thrones.
Still very much peak television at this point, y'all. Like we're peak. Eating.
I honestly wish I watched this when it was coming out because it just would have been so much better. It would have been so much better. Honestly, I would have had different opinions about it maybe, but it still would have been a lot better.
I feel like either season 4 or season 5 is where I came in. Or was it season 3? It was somewhere between 3 and 5 is where I came in. So I had a good amount of binging to do before I was caught up.
Well, it's time for our shade session. Maya, do you have one, or are you just gonna jump in on mine?
So mind y'all, this episode is being filmed like 6 million weeks late. So at the time, my shade session was going to be about Yellow Jackets, and since I still haven't gotten to air my grievances about it, I will share my grievances now. I said I was going to read up on a bunch of stuff to truly educate myself, but I'm not going to do that because I've seen the show. I'm going to be honest with you. Towards season 2, and this is me talking to you, Deshaun, being honest, I thought Yellow Jackets was losing the plot. And then season 3 comes out, and I was like, okay, so you have lost the plot. At this point, maybe we should have been canceled after season 1 because I genuinely don't think they know what they're doing with the adults. I don't think they know what they're doing with the kids because what do you mean y'all had the chance to be rescued? And mind you, I'm a Shauna stand down. Shauna, she does wrong.
What the fuck do you mean by that?
Shauna does things wrong. I will acknowledge
she does everything wrong.
Not everything. Kill yourself. Shauna does things wrong.
No, she does everything wrong, Maya. I'm going to fight you on this. She does every single thing wrong. She literally was like, no one's leaving. No, who the fuck are you, bitch? Kill yourself. I would have beat that whole ass and dragged her through the goddamn woods and make sure that bitch was bloodied and tattered so she can get the fuck up and she starved outside. Fuck that dirty hoe.
Are you done? Okay, glad you're done.
No.
So Shauna has done bad things, but it doesn't. So what Deshaun has extreme grievance about, that doesn't make sense, and it felt like they did that just so they could be there longer. But even though they were there for 5 more seconds, like I feel like there's other ways to show Shauna deteriorating and becoming absolutely freaking insane, but that didn't make sense. And then they had Ty join in, like, yeah, it just doesn't feel right. and then Lottie, we shouldn't leave. Like, that doesn't make any flipping sense.
Well, Lottie is the only one that kind of made sense because Lottie's been crazy.
Lottie still didn't make... Oh, you mean in terms of her character?
Yes, in terms of her character.
Okay,
she been
that
crazy.
Made sense.
But the other two, they did not make sense. You're correct.
Because I genuinely think, like, Shauna's reasoning wasn't, like, the whole it doesn't feel right. I don't think that's why Shauna wanted to stay. I think Shauna wanted to stay because of who she can be here. Which part of me wonders if she should have devolved as quickly as she did. But, like, also, she went through so much trauma. So, like, I get it, I guess, but they all did. But I don't know. Like, it just didn't make sense for her character to do this. But they went with it anyway. And I'm like, okay, this is stupid. And then everybody decides, okay, we're just going to stay because she's pointing the gun at us. Bitch, the way I would have rushed Shauna, love you, would have rushed the hell out of you with the other 10 people, and your ass would have been down on the fucking ground. Maybe you shoot one of us, but you don't shoot all of us. And this is one of the few situations where this actually makes sense. This 100 men versus a gorilla shit, that don't make sense. But rushing one bitch in this, now that makes sense. We're going to rush her because you're not keeping me here. And I think, and it seems like one of the things is, like, in older Shauna says, like, I'm going to be honest. And I think the honest truth is that we had fun out there. We enjoyed ourselves out there. And I'm just like, okay, either y'all enjoyed yourselves or y'all didn't. Like, I feel like you have to, either y'all loving this whatever you're building out here, you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's either oh, this is just because we're trying to survive, or we're trying to live, like, thrive. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
No, because you're protecting Shauna.
I'm not protecting Shauna. I'm talking about the Yellow Jackets as a whole.
Yes, okay, it does make sense.
Either
but
all of y'all was fucking with it, or all of y'all wasn't fucking with it, and they just did horrible. Like, essentially, and I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but essentially, I just hate it. I don't like where Yellow Jackets is going. I'm gonna still watch, but I don't think they know where they're going with both adults and teenagers. But what really pissed me off about at the end of season 3, more specifically the reaction to season 3, everyone is saying that Shauna is racist, that the writers of Yellow Jackets are racist. And this is my thing. They're saying that the POC characters do not get the same level of, like, attention as the white characters. I will say Travis gets 0 attention. And I think that is very weird. Because him and Natalie are supposed to, we've been having this back, like, when we met adult Natalie, we've been having this back and forth for as long as I can remember. They were on and then they were off, and it's been done ever since. I'm like, where's the back and forth?
Right, he was on Lottie the whole time.
Like, he's literally, like, Travis is doing nothing. So I will say they are neglecting Travis, but I don't think they're neglecting Travis because he's a POC. I think it's because he's a boy. Which might sound weird, but, like, I don't know if the writers have realized this or whatever, but I feel like they do. Every time somebody talks about Yellow Jackets, they're like, my crazy cannibal lesbian teenage girls. And it's like, okay, sure. But that's how the show is looked at. That's how the show is marketed. And that's why I think they're abandoning Travis, because he was having a storyline and they freaking threw it away. So I think that's why they've abandoned Travis. Akilah, they don't do my girl. Oh my God. Free my girl. I appreciate her having random new.
Akilah can do no wrong.
No, she can do no wrong, but free her. Free her. Save her. She better be alive. And I appreciate her having a new hairstyle every season. I love it. Misty was doing locks, y'all. She was doing locks in the wilderness. But
she found out if there's a will, there's a way.
You're funny, amen. But I think there are main characters and then there are side characters, and they are not doing the side characters justice because they're essentially just bodies to drop because to show how bad this curse or whatever the hell is going on is. And you can say that that's wrong or whatever because it is a little bit wrong, but, like, that's all it is. So that's why they're treating them this way. And I'm just like, I just don't think there are racial undertones. And this is me who thinks everything is about race, y'all. I think everything is about race. There are not racial undertones here. And I could be wrong, but I don't think there are. And the second thing is what really made me make this take or have this moment to rant is everyone was saying Shauna is racist because she scalped Mari. And this is my thing. Shauna didn't scalp Mari. I think it's very important that we know what scalping is. Should I Google it?
While she's looking that up, all I'm going to say about this season is that it truly only should have been the woods. That's it. It shouldn't have been the adult storyline, because I feel like the adult storyline is slowly falling apart because they don't know what to do with them. And I truly believe it's going to end with all of them dying by the end.
Oh yeah, I agree. Everyone's going to end up on that plane. It's going to be weird and stupid. Scalping refers to the act of cutting off a person's scalp, including the skin and hair from their head. Now, Mari had her skin. She probably had some of her hair too. It was just little tufts that Shauna had them cut off. But Mari still had all those things. So to say that Shauna scalped her is so weird to me, because that's a blatant lie. And also people are like, Mari's indigenous and that's why Shauna did that to her. Da, 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 da. I'm like, one, didn't know Mari was indigenous. Doesn't mean Shauna didn't know. But Shauna, when she was playing house with Jackie's dead body, she took her ear. She also took a piece of Jackie's hair. She took somebody else's hair too. I'm blanking on whose it was. Was it Javi's hair? I'm blanking on who. It might be. I want to say Javi, but I'm really blanking on whose hair she took. But I definitely know she took Jackie's. So it's like, this is a pattern for Shauna. This is what she does. So this has absolutely nothing to do with Mari. It's the fact that Mari is a sacrifice, dead, or murder, whatever you want to call it. So Shauna she's essentially taking mementos like she's a serial killer. It's a little weird, but it's what she's doing. Okay. So like, to say it's like, I get that in the context of, no, actually, I don't even get in the context. Like, if you were saying how sacred hair is to indigenous cultures and tribes and people, I'd be like, oh, okay, I get how that's a little more messed up. But this is something we have established that this character does. So it has nothing to do with the fact that Mari just happens to be dying at that time. Because if Van was dying, she would have cut Van's hair. Like, come on now. Also, when did Mari get so many shooters? I thought we all hated Mari. Because up until, this episode, she was an awful person. She freaking sucked. She was being a mean girl in the woods.
I hated Mari from jump. I never liked the bitch.
No one likes Mari.
I'm kind of happy she was dead. I'm not going to lie.
No, for real. I was like, oops.
I was like, period. But the way that it happened was dirty, but it just is what it is.
But what was dirty about it?
Everyone was doing what they were. Everyone was trying to make sure that Mari didn't die. Like, except for Lottie and Shauna, those were basically the only two that were really hunting her, because all of them were working to basically distract Shauna. What was dirty about Mari dying? The fact that she technically didn't have to die. If she just stopped running, then she would have lived. But
yeah, I don't understand what Lottie was trying to say. Are you talking about Lottie?
Yeah, Lottie was definitely trying to say, girl, you've been here before. You know this pit. Bitch, don't play.
I didn't understand that. I didn't know what was going on with that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. My girl Shauna isn't a racist. Yellow Jackets has completely fallen by the wayside. They've lost the plot. They need to be canceled. Hot take. End it. I don't even want to know what happens at this point. Will I still watch? Damn. Yes. Because they haven't completely lost me, because I'm still slightly intrigued. Essentially, I just want to know if it's them or if it's supernatural. I'm starting to lean more and more towards it's them. Oh, I hate Shauna's kid. I hate her to death. I hate her so bad. Yeah, I think it's them. They just crazy. And it seems like they're making Shauna the main antagonist. And I'm just like, why is yes, Shauna was crazy, but all of y'all are crazy. Van literally was in hospice trying to kill people so her girlfriend could live another day. Not Van, Taissa. I'm sorry. Taissa was in hospice. She has a second personality that is a serial, that just likes to kill people. So I don't understand why apparently my girl Shauna's the worst of the worst. Also, who's the reason they stayed out there so long? Missy, but okay. They need to crucify Shauna.
The Shauna caping is kind of crazy, but
the Shauna hate is kind of crazy. But go ahead, what you got to speak on?
Because during the Yellow Jackets episode, we'll fight about it. I'm not going to talk too much about it because it's definitely going to be an episode. Sinners, if you didn't watch it this weekend or like this week, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're slow as fuck. If you got spoiled, womp womp, that's on you, bitch. Sinners is a 10 out of 10. It's an amazing fucking movie. It will be an episode. But my shade session is going to be about the things that are being said about Sinners. Like, okay, one, it started from jump, the Christian hate. Like, my mom told me this. She said verbatim she's not going to go watch Sinners because she doesn't want to watch anything.
Oh, I thought we were all sinners. I thought that's what Christians believed.
The Christian hate's terrible. And then Variety released this.
Oh, get on them.
Variety released this article on Twitter, not X, saying, where is it? Sinners has amassed $61 million in its global debut. It has great results for an original R-rated horror film. Yet the Warner Brothers release has a $90 million price tag before global marketing expenses, so profitability remains a ways away. Basically saying that Sinners was not a hit because it did $61 million in its global debut. Everybody has been reading Variety for this stupid ass headline. Why the fuck would you say some dumb shit like that? And also, see, covert racism. I was listening to my other podcast, The Read, and they said that there was another person that basically posted and said, would they also say this about a white counterpart of Sinners, aka Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which made less than what Sinners made on its global debut, $48 million.
I heard that movie was awful.
And it was. And they said that movie had a promising future ahead of it. Are you fucking kidding me? Variety, you're fucking stupid. And number 3 is going to be everyone's saying they love Haley Steinfeld in the movie, but Haley Steinfeld's character in the movie, but giving Annie and Perlina Dustin fucking Debris. People hate Perlina specifically because she was a married woman and was expressing her sexuality. Haley was also married. Y'all didn't clock that shit? Haley was also married, but y'all live for her. Maybe y'all were like, oh, she's dead, so it doesn't count. But she was still fiending over that man before she was dead, so now what?
What Mary was doing was a lot more dangerous than what Perline was doing, because Mary was married to a white man.
Clock it. Like,
Mary was risking everybody's lives in that juke joint, whether she was married to a white man or not, because if anybody walked by for whatever reason and saw her, it's lights out. But Mary was risking everybody's lives just because she could have fun that night and reunite with the man that kept telling her to go kick rocks and beat feet, as you would say.
And for whatever reason, people have been thinking that Annie was Smoke's mom and not his lover and wife.
We should. I'm gonna get into it when we talk about it. I'm gonna get into it because
when I saw Annie, I clocked immediately that they used to hunch horses. Like, y'all are crazy to me, and you're fucking blind and you're stupid, and you need to go to therapy. That's all that tells me.
What they need is to check their biases, because something tells me if she looked like Perline, y'all would have clocked it immediately too. But Annie don't look like Perline. Granted, honestly, if that was Zendaya in there, y'all would have clocked it immediately.
I would have been mad if I saw Zendaya.
Darker,
I'm not gonna lie.
Annie's bigger. Oh no, I'd take Zendaya over Haley. Get out of my face, Haley. Why is a white woman here? Why, you know that sound? Why would a man be there? Why would a man be there? Why is a white woman here? Why would a white woman be here? And don't even get me started on all the conversations. She wasn't white, babe. She was. She wasn't considered white, babe. She was.
A pinch of black.
Like, people want to scream one drop rule. The one drop rule only applies if you know. If you don't know, that's a white woman. That's like Remy, or I keep wanting to call him Remy. Remick said, "You ain't gonna let us in because we taps my skin. What? But ain't that a white woman in there? It was so funny. But I'm so like, don't play with me. And also,
she moves around the world as a white person, so you are a white person. She does
happily. Like obviously, she don't want to be married to this man. Though, to my understanding, why did you marry him if you didn't want to be with him? Because this stack forced you down. I mean, this stack forced you down the aisle. You said stack set it up, but like, what? And obviously, women's rights was different, but also, was your daddy still alive too? Because your mommy was alive. And what, like, you know, I just, like, and also nobody around has seen Mary in God knows how long. However many years that, what was it, 8 years they was gone, I want to say? But however many years they was gone. So why are you coming around us all of a sudden now? You black now? Oh, you black again? Oh, okay.
So, it was just a lot of shit. Sorry, surrounding the movie that I hated. So
I think a lot of people got the movie. They got it in ways I did. They got it in ways I didn't. They got it in ways Ryan Coogler wanted them to. They got it in ways maybe Ryan Coogler didn't even think of. But then a lot of people they have rocks between their ears. Nothing but air up there. Something's rattling around, but it ain't a brain. And they're coming up with the most insane takes. And I'm just like, what if we put you somewhere where you never had, like, I don't know if we should train you. Like, do you need to be taught how to read and listen and understand? Or do you need to be abandoned? Excuse me. Because you can't save everybody.
So that's the end of my shade session, which means, unfortunately, we have to end the episode. Mostly because my mic died, but, like, that's whatever. I only have 2 hours worth of recording. I'm sorry.
Poor people's problems.
Anyways, thank you so much for listening. I'm so sorry that last week was like a throwaway episode, but bitches get busy. So it is what it is. Fuck you, hoes.
Throwaway is crazy. I was in finals week, so I don't feel bad because I was living my life. I was stressing out. I was stress eating. Oh my God, it was terrible.
Living my life like it's rusted, like it's brown, like it's dirty.
I was going to say, because it ain't like it was golden.
No.
It was definitely not golden, girl. It was covered in poop.
So thank you so much for listening. Make sure you follow us on our socials. Love you, sisters. We're going to be coming back with another episode of Game of Thrones again next week. Yeah, next week. And then the week after that. And then we'll be done. And we'll talk about Sinners. Can't wait to talk about this fucking movie. Woo! Bye, sisters.
Dracarys.